Hey, I'm Donny from Æther.
And I'm Heinrich from Aether, and you're listening to Rhino Radio.
So today, through the magic of the internet, I am joined by a few members. I got Donny and Heinrich of Aether Realm. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Yeah, doing
Very
good. I'm
good.
always curious to hear how people say the band name.
Did I get it close?
There's really no real defined way, I think, to say it, because I think it's like, because that AE symbol is like pronounced differently in like different languages everywhere, and I've heard it like a billion different ways, and we're like, we don't even really know, honestly.
Yeah, we usually say Aether. So.
Yeah, how you say that's how we say it. Like,
Usually, if I'm not sure, I just kind of cough through it, and then I add something at the
yeah,
end.
that'll work.
Either realm.
So Donny and Heinrich, you just released an album, I think a month and a few days ago, if I got the date right.
May 1st?
Redneck,
Yeah.
Vikings from Hell. How was it for you? It was a very different release, I'm guessing.
Yeah, this release we wanted to be a little bit more to the point as far in terms of music. Anybody that has listened to Tarot knows that it's more conceptual, thematic, more artsy, and so we were kind of just wanted to try something different here. Just like have more songs that are to the point, without sacrificing any of our favorite kind of like genres or whatever.
And without being able to actually have a launch show, how did you guys spend the release? I'm guessing it was very different than previous releases.
Well, I mean, like we did have like a so on Terror we did do a like listening party, and Napalm was cool to like let us do a listening party also. So we did that on YouTube, and that was kind of cool. It was kind of actually the same in that sense, because Tarot was just like, no label really other than the small label that we were on at the time and stuff like that. So it was kind of like almost like similar in that sense, but like the thing that was alarmingly different for us was the realization that we weren't going to be able to do the things that we thought we were going to be able to do.
Yeah, it was cool. Like Donny said, this is our first, major label release, and it was cool doing the YouTube listening party. That was the first for us. So it was cool to like interact with fans on the internet like that. We originally had a tour planned with Paladin out of Atlanta. They're like a thrash power metal band, and that was going to be on the East Coast. But obviously that got indefinitely postponed, which sucks. But it's definitely more important to be safe. And even if we did go on tour, it's like, I don't think anybody would show up, and we also just don't want to put our fans in that kind of risk to begin with. So
yeah, man.
Okay. And the new reality got a lot of people walking into your house. You had the listening party that was yours, and a few interviews are kind of like we're doing right now, kind of barging in to your own home. What are the weirdest bloops that you had doing an interview? Somebody walked in naked, or anything? Cats, dogs flying?
Nothing too crazy like that.
Yeah, we've been lucky. We've been pretty good. This one actually, I haven't made my bed yet today. I've been lazy, kind of like just like laying in bed all day actually. So
yeah, none of us have pets currently. Just as cool as it would be. At least I'm speaking for myself. Like I don't know if I feel comfortable like putting my animal on my friends, if I had to go on tour or something. That's really the main reason I don't have a pet right now. So
like I had an Australian Shepherd that was a really great dog, and he's lived to be like 16 years old, but I haven't gotten another pet just because I'm like, man, I like tours like that. It's like it's gonna be kind of like, I don't want to put them on my friends or anything like that, or my parents. My parents live very far away from me, so.
Well, on top of that, I do appreciate the fact that you're wearing pants today. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the themes behind the album. If I'm mistaken, the main theme is the acceptance of the two sides. And what did you realize during the process of at least seeing Jake write or assisting Jake in writing about what are you more, a redneck or a Viking?
I wouldn't say it's like that. It's actually kind of like us making fun of the fact that people kind of like think of us as like a band that's like we have like people always say like, oh, this is like the American Winter Sun or something like that. Like we've heard that plenty of times. People will literally say, oh wait, I thought these guys were from Finland, but they're not. They're from America. And that's been a thing that's happened so long that we've had this thing on our Facebook page where it just says we are not from Finland.
Yeah,
and in like in the bio, and it's just like we're like really the album is just kind of like specifically the song Redneck Vikings from Hell. The idea is it's just there's something really inherently silly about a bunch of dudes from North Carolina playing Viking metal.
Yeah, we had a shirt designed by Joe Gittler. He's a guitar player for Wilderun, and it's like a bald eagle. I don't know if you're familiar with the blood eagle. It's like a Viking like execution method. Anyway, we have the graphic on the front of the tee has this bald eagle like ripping out the spine of fallen warrior on the battlefield, and on the back says "We are not from Finland," and it has like the American flag as the pattern behind the text.
Yeah, it's just memes.
It's just silly. We're really just Southern boys that have an infatuation for that epic kind of. We like our dumb jokes. We just kind of like throw out into the world and then let everyone else try to sort out, even though they're all like inside jokes. Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just really one of those like it's just like it's really just the irony that it's a bunch of dudes from North Carolina doing Viking metal, folk metal, and mellow death. None of those, by the way, are like metal genres that you typically find in America and the States and stuff. So
well, you make it work.
Yeah, it's really what it is.
I'm going to confront you with two rumors that I found online during my interview, during my research. The first one is coming up next. You guys have a weird relationship with Ailstorm and Ramahoy, and between the collision between Rednecks and Vikings, now we're throwing in pirates into the equation. Is there some sort of a West Side Stories conclusion between you guys and Ailstorm and Ramahoy?
West Side Stories, I don't know. Jake and I used to be in a band before Aether called Sacrament, and we actually covered an Ailstorm song, Nancy the Tavern Wench, just for like a friend's birthday party, and there was video of it going around our Facebooks, and I guess somebody found it and decided to post it to Ailstorm forums, and a lot of people were like, tearing,
it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not great, but obviously people were like, ripping us down. But like we didn't post it, but then Chris came into the forum and was like, hey, it's not that bad, cool stuff, guys, thanks for sharing.
He's being nice.
Yeah, just being nice. Just kind of but he's always been ever since we met him actually was it Knoxville?
So we met Chris. So Elliot was a fan for a while, I think, because there was a show that this was before I joined where y'all played with
yeah, I should say we previously, before this Knoxville show, we had opened up for them before.
Like as like a local band support.
But they still didn't really know us then.
But I think Elliot liked it, and then Chris showed up to one of our shows in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I didn't even recognize him. I didn't even know who he was at first. I was like trying to sell him merch. I was like, yeah, man, you want to buy this shirt, dude? You go, dude, And I think everyone else in my band was like, Donny, dude, chill. What are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, that's Chris Bose. I was like, what? Like, I didn't even know at first. I was an idiot. And like, we all hung out and talked about silly stuff and after the show and stuff like that.
Yeah, Chris was just like to Jake's, nonchalant, like, hey, you guys are cool. You guys are good. Want to go on tour? And obviously, like, why the fuck wouldn't we?
Yeah, so we did that 2016 tour, became buddies with them, pals with them, became pals with the guys in Necrogoblicon, and we became pals with the guys at Glory Hammer because of, like, knowing through them, so the affiliation and all that stuff, and that's kind of it. We're just a bunch of buds.
So there's not going to be a battle between the two ships, the Pirates and the Vikings? That's not going to happen?
That was actually the first tour, was like the poster looked like a fighting game character select screen.
Yeah, it was called a Super Smash Turbo Tour.
Yeah, and it had like pirates versus goblins, because it was Ailstorm, Necrogoblicon, and then us. And back in the day, Jake used to wear this bear pelt. So they just put like a giant bear. It was like pirates versus goblins versus bears. And then a lot of people thought, they're like, okay, so you have pirate metal, you got goblin metal, but what is bear metal? We're like, no, it's not bear metal. It's just Jake wears this bear. It's a guy in a bear.
Yeah, like the goblin metal band actually has a song about bears.
Ironically, yeah.
You just have shirts that have bears on them.
Yeah, so it's like really silly and everything gets really like all over the place.
Then we also
we're never serious about anything, honestly.
So like we had a shirt what was it? Just Europe that we had we had a shirt with like a bear that had like sunglasses.
Oh yeah,
on,
okay. So there was we did so we did the
the
European tour, right? It was 2017, and it was Ailstorm, Trollhaugen, and us, and like we had this shirt that was hilarious, where like it was a bear and it was the rubber duck from Ailstorm, because they always had the rubber yellow duck on stage. It was like a rubber duck, the bear with a shotgun in its hand. And then they were riding this mechanical crab, because Trollhaugen just has this crab thing they always have everywhere for some reason. And they were holding like a 6-pack can of like PBR, which is like just like, like cheap beer, but it's like okay cheap beer. You know what I'm saying? There's cheap beer, then there's like cheap beer. It's like, okay, this is okay cheap beer. I'll drink it, but it's not,
Yeah, I totally forgot about that shirt.
And then there's the one that was the 2016 tour where...
Yeah, the one I was talking about, I don't know if you can see this. It's just like a bear with like stunner shades on. And like I think it was on the same tour, like a previous tour, where our drummer, like there was something where we we're all getting delirious on the road, and we were reading like feedback to our album or something, or feedback to like a show we played, and people were just being really negative. And it's really easy to like let that stuff get to you sometimes, but our drummer is always like super like lighthearted and hilarious, and he's just like, who cares, just metal.
Yeah,
and that's just stuck with us like so hard. It's kind of another theme of us, is just don't take yourself too seriously.
We also had another shirt that was hilarious, where it was on that Ailstorm Necrogoblicon tour, where it was the bear, and he was again holding a shotgun, and he was shooting the goblin, John Goblicon. Yeah. He was shooting him, and then he swiped his head, and he was knocking Chris Bose's head off, and the head was like flying towards like the front, towards like the viewer.
It was so good.
It was like probably my favorite shirt I think ever, and Chris loved it. He thought it was the funniest thing ever. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this merch plugin.
We don't have that anymore. We don't have those merch anymore. We're just saying how dumb we are. Yeah, really.
I want to touch on another one of your singles, Guardian. And if I'm mistaken, the story was where Jake was kind of in between, and he wasn't sure where the project is going, where the music's actually going to take off. And he was looking for something to muse him, to push him forward, empower him. I was wondering how you guys are dealing with challenges. Where do you find the strength to move forward?
I think you're always going to feel that way.
It doesn't have to be what Jake wrote, just how you guys deal with challenges.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of like a workaholic about stuff. So like sometimes it's hard to get started in the work. Like, it's like you have to be inspired to write stuff and whatnot. And that's like hard to get in that mindset. And sometimes I'll just kind of like sit down and just start working on it. It might take me like an hour or two before I start getting actual good ideas, but you just have to just go do it. Like it's like you might not be like in the zone to do it immediately or something like that. And if you feel like you're struggling with stuff, it's all right, dude, to struggle with that kind of stuff all the time. It's just gonna happen. It's inevitable. I think.
I'm sure a lot of musicians feel the same way, where it's like a lot of musicians write music because sometimes words themselves are like certain things like aren't enough, and like sometimes music's the only avenue you feel you have the appropriate like platform to get your feelings out. And but beyond that, like what Zion was saying, like staying busy, I'm super thankful to be surrounded by a lot of talented friends, people that we've toured with, people that I look up to as just further inspiration to kind of keep going, I'd say.
Thank you very much for sharing that, guys. Do appreciate that. And on the same topic, in the spirit of change, in the spirit of tackling challenges, with your experience from the music scene, either as a performer or as a fan, and in the spirit of change all around the world right now, is there something specific that you would like to pluck out, or that you want to inspire us to do more, again, either as musicians or as fans going to purchase music, to enjoy music, something that would make the music scene way more welcoming for more fans and more musicians?
Yeah, I think, there's this weird thing, there's this weird separation, I think, sometimes, especially in like metal music, where like people sometimes think like, like they're metal musicians, they must listen to metal like all the time. And it's like, actually rarely, in all honesty, rarely. We have our favorites, we know our stuff, we know the songs, we know the tried and true things, stuff like that. We're not idiots about it. We do like metal and music, stuff like that. But I think it's like to kind of like be a little more like accepting of like different like styles of music and genres like that, and like, you know, because there's like some cool ideas and cool stuff and like all sorts of different kinds of music, and we're a band that clearly brings weird stuff into a metal context, I think. So
yeah, I'd say like, you know, especially within the genre, like, you know, all the different subgenres, it's really, you know, unfortunately too common to see a lot of like the like elitist attitudes towards like, oh, this metal's better, or like this metal isn't metal, or, you know, yada yada. So but, you know, beyond that, yeah, it's just like, don't you know, dismiss an entire genre of music just because it's the cool thing to do, or just because you've heard one band that did it a way you didn't like, because like when you do that, you're robbing yourself of an opportunity to like find something that you might really love. So
I mean, and you can use that as inspiration to help you write music too. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of things that we borrow from all sorts of crazy genres. I mean, we have a section in one of our songs that's literally like Latin American inspired sounding music. You know, I'm a big fan of Brazilian and Venezuelan guitarists, and there's stuff like that we throw in there. There's banjo in our song. There's a section where it sounds like a bluegrass section in you know, Redneck Vikings from Hell. We do it in a goofy kind of silly sometimes way, but like also like there's times when it's like the music is not always goofy and silly. We just sometimes write goofy, silly things, and I just, you know, have fun and enjoy everything around you as best you can, and don't be so like negative about everything like that. I think, you know, just it's who cares? It's just metal. Have fun, man. You know, like.
That's a very dangerous statement. It's just metal. A lot of people are going to like just that. Just that statement.
Yeah.
Could be met with some pitchforks.
Well aware of that.
Okay, I'm going to confront you with the second rumor of the day. People are scared that because the market is changing, music is a bit of at a cross point. We're not sure whether we're going to be able to perform again. So they're scared that the band is considering opening a chain of tiny metal hand massage rooms. Is that correct?
Massage rooms?
Yes, tiny metal hand massage. Is that happening?
I mean, I guess we would have the monopoly on
tiny metal hand massage. Yeah, it would be. We would have the world by storm, I guess.
Are they
if there was a need for that,
we put them. Well, like we heat them up, and then like instead of hot stones, you just have like tiny metal hot hands like on your back to like relax.
I feel like it wouldn't really do.
It just burn like, you, but you know.
If you need like a deep tissue, it's not for you, you know. But like.
No, so is that a no?
First I've heard of that.
The band is still debating that.
That's amazing. I really? That's incredible.
That's the rumor. I need your answer, the final verdict. So it's something that's not really happening, just a debate.
You know, if there's a need for it, I guess, you know, they've given us the idea now. It's just not one. It's not an original idea of ours.
Yeah, maybe I can finally leave the day job to pursue some new markets.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up on a question about the future. You guys had I was told that you have some grandiose ideas, a lot of instruments and great friends that you've used in the past. What can we expect in the vague future of the band?
Are we grandiose? I guess we are.
See, vague future.
I think, the future is that like,
the truth is like we don't know a whole lot more than our fans do in terms of shows, because you know, like a lot of our people that listen to us, like metalheads especially, like are really passionate about live music. So I'm sure they all are well aware of the state of, you know, things and like when shows will be happening. And like what I mean by that is like we still don't really know. Like we're postponing things for the safety of everybody, and also just because of regulations. But the truth is, you know, it's hard to say when like the pandemic and everything is like still evolving.
Yeah. I mean, like in reality, like when it comes to like playing shows like that, for us, like we don't have any more information than anyone else at all. If anything, like I feel like sometimes more people have more information than us, because I feel like I didn't know anything about this tiny metal hand massage thing at all.
For instance, like the tour we were talking about with Paladin that got postponed, like some of the venues were like announcing events before the dates had like even been confirmed with us.
So yeah,
it's just kind of It's kind of a shit show right now in terms of live music.
Hey man, it's crazy. It's mass hysteria. You know, it's cats and dogs living together, craziness, mass hysteria. That's a quote from Ghostbusters. If anyone knows that, that's not my own words. It's actually just a movie quote. I don't know. I mean, I think like we know what we want to do. We want to play shows because they're fun. We like playing shows. Shows are fun. We like playing shows, and we like interacting with people face to face when we play shows. And we're not one of those bands that like goes and hides in the green room or anything like that. They're all we're lucky if we get a green room sometimes, but like you know, we just kind of like we'll go hang out, we'll be at the merch tables and all that stuff. We like talking to people, we like talking to everybody and stuff like that. That's the thing that is this. I think the number one thing we're always going to keep doing is that 100% as much as we can, whether we can be at a show face to face or not. And you know, we've been doing stuff where we're trying to like engage with our audience and stuff like that, our fans and whatnot, like through social media as best as we can, stuff like that. Yeah. And other means, you know. Yeah,
like the you know, platform's definitely changed. We've talked about doing some sort of like live streamed concert or, you know, something of that caliber. We're just still logistically trying to figure out how to execute that. Since we all, like Jake and I, like we all have our own like work going on outside of the band that keeps us busy and that, you know, keeps a roof over our heads. Donny right now is actually on Twitch.
Yeah, I've been
some cool
doing Twitch streams where like I go through the songs and I explain like different sections of the songs that we write, so like that. I'll show you how to kind of like play them a little bit, and then I'll play like some dumb video games. And I did this thing where people can like screw up my game as I'm playing, and it drove me to drinking is what it did.
Are there no scoops about either videos or music that you're almost about to delete and you might actually release it?
Say again?
There's no music or videos that you might delete but actually release it?
I don't think we can release music easily like that. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I thought about doing like a goofy cover of one of our songs. Because like in the TMHC music video, there's like a piano bit that's actually being played. It's actually the song Goodbye that I did on the piano like really quickly as like a kind of like slow jazz somber sounding thing just real quick. And I was like, man, it'd be really funny if I did like maybe like if Michael Jackson did Goodbye, like this is what it would sound like.
Oh yeah.
I want to do some really weird things like that. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it'd be like silly things, I think.
We'll have to wait and see. Guys, we said Redneck Vikings from Hell is out now. Great album. Really enjoyed it, especially the videos. Is there anything else you want to add to fans and listeners out there before we say goodbye?
Yeah, so we have our own musical stuff projects we do on our own all the time, actually, just to kind of like, you know, feed our souls and whatnot. You know, Aether is like the prime thing that we do, but we also have our own stuff. Heinrich does really cool DJ stuff and whatnot, and he's really sick at it and really good. Actually, all the synth stuff that you hear on anything from that sounds really cool and stuff like that, like all the synth sounding stuff in our albums, that's always Heinrich, like always. So
perhaps some more Aether remixes in the future.
Yeah, so we'll probably do some silly stuff like that. We'll do some. I mean, not that so that's actually really cool. That'd be awesome. I think. I don't know. I mean, like I'm on Twitch. You can follow me on twitch.tv/Donny Burbage. Yeah, you can follow me there for some memes. Yeah, you know, expect more memes and more good things, and just, you know, hang out, be positive, be excellent to each other, and all that cool stuff. I think that's about all we got going on right now.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, like I said, we're, you know, maybe one day we'll do some more streaming stuff with the band as a whole, but still figuring it out. So,
Donny, Heinrich, Aether Realm, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.